clearly communicated to the entire team. So what type of control method will be used? How often is the characteristics measured? And what is the sample size? A to Z about your entire implementation plan will get documented in a control plan, so that everyone involved is very clear where they are going, what they are going to do, how they are going to do, who and all is going to be involved. So consideration when creating a control plan include how will characteristics be measured. That is very, very important. And you have to properly train them. Who will be responsible for monitoring the characteristics and taking the measurement? What is the signal to indicate an out of control situation? What is a corrective action for an out of control condition? Who is responsible for the corrective action? Because there should not be a blame game that will happen, that I thought you will take the action because it is your project. Such sort of a blame game should never come into play. So it has to be clearly told that you are the stakeholder of this process. You are the owner of this process. In this shift, this particular blue collar worker will be taking place. This particular supervisor will be taking care of the corrective action. And what are the various signals to indicate that something is going out of control? This is not the expected result. And what are the risk mitigation plans? Everything has to be clearly showcased. This is how a sample control plan looks. We can modify accordingly. You can add or delete based on your requirement. Which product, who is the process owner, how to reach them, who are the core team members who will be involved in doing all these improvements and measuring that and putting it in the control plan. So it will tell the process, the flow charting of the process steps. So we'll have that CPOC who will, what are the inputs that will be needed for the process step with process specifications. You will be much more clearer. You'll have more clarity. What are the process specifications? What are the measurement techniques that will be your MSA, how it will be used? What are the tools, techniques, everything that you will be using as a measurement technique? What is the sample size you will be taking? What is the sample frequency you will be looking for? What is a control method? Only if you have the control methods, you should have the various checklists and your statistical quality control processes, what and all you will be using, and who is the responsible person to take care of this. And if something, yes or no, if it is there in control or not in control, what is the reaction or risk mitigation plan if something goes wrong or goes out of our control? So who or what organizations require in training? Unless otherwise, you train, you bring in your team perfectly to understand where we are heading as a team for improvement. This training will not be successful, my friends. So you have to very clearly elaborate your storyboarding of the improvements and how this is really going to help the team in understanding what is the impact the improvement is going to bring in for the entire company, for the entire benefits of the team, and how it is going to reduce the cycle time and improve the customer satisfaction, and how the cost reduction, how the management is happy about this process, and what is going to bring in, what cake is going to bring in for the team should be properly communicated to the team so that they are ready for, mentally they are ready for the training. So who or what organization require training? That is those impacted by the improvements. You have to choose who and all will be impacted by the improvements. People who are involved in the process, who will be impacted by the improvement. People who support the process will be also impacted by the improvements. So you have to clearly communicate you and all, this is the way the impact will be, and how this particular training, what it is going to be given to them, what are the takeaways for them because of implementing the new process has to be clearly given as a roadmap to them. So those impacted by the control plan will be mostly the process owners or the managers, people who support the processes involved in the control plan, and people who will make the changes to the process in the future. Probably they may also identify and tell, no, this is very probably we can change, because this DMAIC is not a one step, or it is not an end process. Probably after a few months, you may be working for a new improvement for the same process when some material changes from an environment changes, new machines are introduced by the management, or even the management may change. So you do not know. So it is a cyclic process. It happens. So you need to standardize so that you can benchmark yourself, and you can standardize the process so that when you make the future improvements, you can just jump over the board with all these documentations in the control plan. So you have to clearly have your training plan outline. What are the training modules that is required? Who will create the modules? Because it has, you have to teach, like you cannot assume that they know everything. So you have to create modules in such a way that it is for like dummies. So if some fresher comes in after a period of time, and he needs to understand the process so that he will be put in a shift. So you have to develop modules as if you are going to teach a newcomer. So it has to be elaborate with the standard operating procedures, the control plan, the specification plan, the flow charting of the process, what is the CPOC that is sitting, how the improvement, why the improvement was put in, and what is the benefits of doing this. And they should be given hands-on training to understand everything. And the schedule for training modules completion, who will be trained, and schedule for training, who the trainer is, and integration into ongoing new employee training, whether you will put all this in the induction training when a newcomer walks in, and what is the final location of the employee manual so that they can go back and always refer. Now documentation, the next part is documentation after your control plan and your training. The entire your DMAIC process should be put in a storyboarding way with the toll gates. You have to clearly say, this is how it started, this is how it ended, so that it will really help in the future project for reference also. So documentation is necessary to ensure what has to be learned from the project, and how it got institutionalized across the process and the process owners and whoever got benefited out of it. So this has to be used to aid implementing of solution, used for ongoing training. And this is often the actual final report some organizations use for the entire storyboarding of the entire green belt project or a black belt project or any Kaizen project, anything. If the documentation is perfect, it serves as a beautiful library for future references, and for your future trainings, for your future motivation that you can be used for many people to take on more projects and to see the results that has really, and it serves as a beautiful clipping that you can shoot to your management, say, hey, as a team, we have achieved this. And probably this, for many people, this has brought in promotions. When I had a chance to implement my black belt project, which saved the company almost 66 lakhs when 77 metrics was implemented. very unexpected promotions I got was I was able to head almost 7 departments, and I was sent to so many countries for implementation of the model. So you do not know what are the unexpected results and promotions and rewards this green belt and black belt projects can really bring in when it is properly showcased. You have to, you may be taking a lot of efforts, but you may not know how to showcase a project perfectly. Whatever you have done has to be showcased with in a neat roadmap to be put in front of the top management so that they will understand the efforts you have really brought in as a team. So this documentation plays a very, very vital part in every improvement project. And what and all you'll have, the items to be included in documentation plan will be mostly the process documentation, your updated process maps, the flow charts, procedures like standard operating procedures, your FMEA, techniques of risk mitigation and proper methodologies. If there is any failure that is happening, what is the proactive steps you need to take, and a detailed control plan documentation of various training manuals, how your monitoring plan should be, like with process management charts, reports, again, the standard operating procedures to monitor what's happening in the process, your response plan. If anything goes wrong, how you will react to it and how react to it in a proactive way. So systems and other structures that has to be clearly kept in place so that that can be more support to the process owners and the persons doing the actual work. So anything you do and achieve, final touch always has to be celebration, my friends. You need to celebrate your success so that your team enjoys the improvement, and you reward whoever has taken lot of efforts. For that, you need to properly communicate to your management. These are the persons who got involved in this. These are the improvements that was brought in, and not on any project ends successfully unless otherwise it is being celebrated. Our successes should feel good so that it sets up for more future success. So please celebrate your projects. Please reward yourself by properly documenting and showcasing your project. And please remember, it is your choice to do it or not. What happens, you take every session, you get the certificate, you just go back and you don't do it. That is your choice always. But remember, please remember, if you don't improve first, your competitors will. Either it could be your internal competitor. One of your co-worker who is sitting next to you may do a same green belt project or a black belt project and may win the hearts of your management and may get a promotion. Or if your company is not very good in improvement processes, probably their competitors will win. So if it's either about the individual or the company, whoever may matter, if you don't improve first, your competitors will. So inspire, support, and enjoy Lean Six Sigma so that, my friends, the treasure is already in your organization, in your process, in the mindset of the people, in the hard work of the people. So keep improving and keep proving yourself through Lean Six Sigma projects, either as a green belt projects or Kaizen project, or it is a black belt project. You will find the hidden treasure that is already there in your organization. Thank you. You have any questions, sir?
No, thank you, madam. I have just one question.
Before
all these changes, we need to have the documentation and this control plan in place, or it is a parallel activity?
Sir, in each phase you would have documented, right? In each phase you would have applied the various control process. Finally, like a story, you need to put, this is where I started. This is where it really gave me. until the control phase, you would have collected so much of information in a haphazard way, and it will be lying in your desktop or in your documents or in your manuals. Now you will bring an end-to-end, like an ISO documentation. How you bring in all the parallel departments and you put all the classes so that your management representative showcases this is how the quality of my organization works when a TUV or BVQI comes for certification process. Similarly, you are the management representative for your green belt project or a black belt project. So you have to bring in all the information in a proper documentation during your control phase.
Sure.
As a final document.
Yeah.
This is just bringing everything and feeling good. That's all. You have mastered your process and you have mastered your project, so that you can really showcase to your management.
Yeah.
Any other questions?